Hi everyone, here let me move this a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, hopefully that works. Hello, hi, and welcome to Drinking with a Dietitian. It's 8 p.m. here in Manila and I'm ready to mix some drinks. This is a new series that I'll be doing, so please tune in every Thursday at this time. I'll be making a new cocktail or drink of some sort, and then a healthy snack or appetizer. And if you're watching this now, please share it so other people can see it and join in, or please comment and let me know that you're here and where you're watching from. I wrote a post today on the blog about alcohol and health. So obviously we know excessive alcohol is not healthy, but actually a little bit or a moderate amount of alcohol is okay. It can even see some health benefits. Now, don't start drinking today for health reasons, but we are surrounded by alcohol all the time. It's at parties, it's at happy hours. So I kind of just want to give you, and my goal with this is to give you some options to make healthier to make drinking a little bit healthier. So many times our cocktails are high in sugar, and they're basically empty calories. And then once we start drinking comes the food that goes along with it, which is usually unhealthy choices, high in fat, fried foods. So I want to give some healthier choices to that as well, so you don't have your weekend choices really sabotaging your health goals. So I want to help you be able to enjoy your cocktail and have your health too. So as this is my first video, I figured I would start off with a classic drink, which is the Martini. So I did a little bit of a spin on that, and I'm making it a spring Martini, almost a spring spritzer, but you can make it as a Martini as well. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of history about the Martini, just because I think it's interesting and it's changed so much over the years. The first Martinis were served in about the 1800s, and they were originally with sweet vermouth and gin. And then in the 1900s, it basically became dry vermouth and gin, and a little bit of orange bitters. In the 1930s, those bitters were taken back out, and vermouth was kind of cut down a little bit, so it was primarily more gin forward. And then in the 90s, they decided, why not do it with vodka? So it was vodka and dry vermouth. But today you can kind of find it either way. You can specify or make it either way you like, with gin or with vodka. It's a pretty strong drink. So a lot of people don't really like it, but this spin that I'm making, I think will make it a little bit more enjoyable for you and a little less strong. So today, if you go to the bar and order a Martini, it might be about 3 ounces of gin and about ½ an ounce of vermouth. When I said earlier that a low to moderate amount of alcohol intake is healthy, or it's not considered excessive and it's part of a healthy diet, that is about 1½ ounces of liquor. So with 3 ounces of gin in one Martini, for women, it's 1 drink is okay per day, and for men, it's 2 drinks. So for women, you're already over your limit, and for men, you're at your limit. So in this drink, I cut down a little bit on the gin, and I kept the vermouth where it is, which is kind of more classically how it was done when it was first invented. So I'm going to start off with just 1 ounce of gin, and I have some ice here in my cocktail shaker. Pour that in there. And then I'm doing a little less than ½ an ounce of vermouth. You can add a full ½ ounce, but I just like it a little bit less strong. So really in a classic martini, that's all that you would have. Here I'm going to add a little bit of lemon bitters, about 2 dashes. And this is Fee Brothers. You can smell it. It just smells like fresh lemon. It's delicious, and I think it adds like a nice depth of flavor. It adds a little bit to the martini. Again, if you don't really like the, just the gin flavor. And then I made some homemade simple syrup, which if you're having a party, it always impresses people, but it's the easiest thing to make. So this is a basil lemon simple syrup. It is simply about half a cup of sugar and half a cup of water. All simple syrup is traditional, about equal parts sugar to water. So I just used half a cup of each. And you put that on the stove in a saucepan. And then I added a handful of basil and about half a lemon worth of zest. And you just put that over medium heat until the sugar dissolves. Remove it from the heat, and then when it cools, you have this wonderful, you can smell the basil. It smells like summer. It smells like spring. It's delicious. And so I'm just gonna add a teeny bit of that, a hint, again, to just add a little bit of flavor, sweeten it up, make it a little bit more appetizing for those of us who don't love just straight martinis. Just a touch. And I'm gonna stir this up until it's chilled. And I have my chilled glass here that I had in the refrigerator earlier. Strain that in. Now, it doesn't look like very much, right? Which makes sense because it's normally 3 ounces of gin and I just took it down to 1, so it's not gonna last you very long. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of soda water, sparkling water. This is better than tonic water because you're not getting the sugar, you're not getting the extra calories, and I think it just adds like a refreshing, I like the bubbles, it adds a refreshing bit to the drink. So I'll top it off with that. And then I have my lemon twist here, which is traditional. And now when you have the lemon twist, always make sure you rub that around the rim. And if you're at a good bar, they'll always do this. And the reason for that is you're letting off those lemon essential oils, and so you can begin to smell them. And when we're tasting, we first taste with the aroma. So when you lift it up to your mouth, you're gonna smell that nice lemon essential oil. Delicious. So that's our cocktail, and I want to start with the cocktail so you can have a snack, have a little bit of a refreshing beverage while we make our mixed nuts. So for the snack, I made these sweet and spicy mixed nuts. Again, classic bar snack, and so easy to make. And this, even though it's sweet, I actually did not add any added sugar. I just added some chopped dates, which have a huge amount of natural sugar as well as fiber. So we'll add these chopped dates, and to save on dishes, I just do it all right here on the sheet pan. And I'm doing about half a cup of everything. If you don't like so many dates, or if you wanted to add a different kind of fruit, you could always do that, or dried fruit. So I'll add my dates. And then I have a half a cup here. You can use any nuts. I honestly looked in my cupboard and this is what I had. So I did half a cup of pecans, half a cup of almonds, half a cup of hazelnuts. And then I'm just gonna go mix those around, and I have about a tablespoon here of coconut oil. If you use more nuts, you can kind of eyeball it. Just make sure it's all well coated. So you want to coat these up before we put the spices on, so we make sure that the spices stick to the nuts. There we go. And then the spices I used. So about half a teaspoon each, and I'll just sprinkle them on here. You know, this does not have to be rocket science here. It's just spices. If you like it spicier, add a little bit more. So I started off with just a little bit of ground ginger, a bit of Spanish paprika, or you could use chili powder if you wanted it spicier. I like the Spanish paprika or smoked paprika. I think it adds a nice smoky flavor to it. And then some cinnamon. Cinnamon is actually good for blood sugar control. It's anti-inflammatory, and it tastes delicious with anything sweet and or savory. And then I'm doing a bit of turmeric. So I actually have these turmeric pills that I got from a farm here in the Philippines. It's called Hinlaban, and I'm working with them right now, and they do all sorts of foods, but I love their turmeric. And you can actually just open their capsule, and you can take these throughout the day if you don't like turmeric, but I'll just open this up and sprinkle it right on to my mixed nuts. Don't even have to measure that. There we go. And you don't have to get your fingers all orange from the turmeric. And then I just have some Himalayan pink sea salt. You can use any kind of salt. And a bit of black pepper. Mix that together, and then just put that in the oven at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes. Keep an eye on it because the nuts burn really easily. So you want to kind of keep an eye on it and make sure that you're not scorching them too much because they'll go from toasted to burn very quickly. So 8 to 10 minutes, keeping an eye on them, and let them cool, and they are good to go. And you have a perfect little happy hour there waiting for you that's healthier than normal. So again, I hope you enjoy. If there's anything you want to see me make, please comment and let me know, and I'm happy to make all sorts of different drinks, whatever you guys want to see. So have a great weekend, and cheers. I hope you enjoy. See you next week.